This Moreno Valley Updates, February 2nd to February 8th. This is Steve.
This is Danny.
And this is Tyler.
So when we were doing the meeting out in Buckeye, one of the drivers mentioned that he has not been the driver of the week when we're doing introductions. So we're going to give a shout out to Shane Pierce. So now everyone at that table has been driver of the week.
There you go.
Shane has been doing relay. He's pretty much done relay almost the whole time he's been here. All right. New hires, none. For our birthdays, we got Nick Liefa. He is here in Moreno Valley on February 7th. Right, so that's next Saturday. For our anniversaries, we have none this week. Take a look at the weather. Los Angeles looks like middle of the week, pretty good chance of rain. I think all the fires are out now, aren't they?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, finally. They gave me a little bit of it must have been a little ashy around here at some point. I think it felt like I had some allergies this week. Let's see. So mid-60s, looks like a pretty good chance of rain in the middle of the week for Los Angeles. Let's go to Las Vegas. Up in the 70s. So sunny and low to mid 70s during the week. Should be pleasant. For Phoenix, in the 80s. Wow. Mostly sunny. No. In the 80s.
It's going to be warm.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, it's getting warm already. So remember to hydrate. Salt Lake City, still winter there, although they are 60s, 50s, high 40s. Looks like, end of the week, looking at probable showers. And some of those days it's down below freezing, so that'll probably be snow. For injuries, none?
Yep, none.
I think it was none. No accidents this week.
Yep.
All right, so we're getting back on track. We had a few weeks there. It was a little rough. So
yeah, we definitely did. We could have used a good month or a good week in January.
Yeah. So way to get back at it. Get our safety score.
We pulled it together at the end.
Yeah. The last week was good. The beginning week's not so good. For Smart Drive.
For Smart Drive, even though we had a pretty good week on accidents, injuries, we had a pretty rough week on Smart Drive. 3 ones were decently high this week. One of them was kind of a random one, not one we typically get a lot of, but it was a lot of lane departures this week. So just a reminder for a lot of guys, especially guys new to relay, be careful when you're reaching for things in your truck. That was the cause for several of the lane departures, was guys reaching for drinks, snacks, phones, whatever else. You got to remember, you gotta set yourself up before you start driving. Otherwise, you're going to result in hitting a curb, hitting another car, something else. Hopefully no construction workers around, anything like that. The other big one for the week was following distance. For this week, there's actually less than 1 second that flagged the most. So you got to be careful. You got to have at least 3 seconds or it will flag you in the cameras. And a reminder, a safe lane change has to be at least 1 second apart from the car in front of you. Otherwise, it will flag right away as an unsafe lane change. And the last one. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to mention when we were at the safety meeting there in Buckeye, one of the drivers had brought up the trucks are governed. So when you're passing someone, it does take a little bit and trying to get over. And I think that's a lot of that just waiting to get over and just getting too close to that truck in front of you. That's where drivers get flagged a lot.
Definitely. A lot of downhills too. A lot of guys take the downhills at full speed, definitely use it to their advantage, but the problem is they can't slow down as fast as they need to once they get too close to another car. But last one for the week that was a big one was the incomplete stops. So this one it's mainly stop signs. So we have a bunch for, again, I don't mean to keep targeting the relays, but that tends to be where we get a lot of the videos just because they drive the most. But heavily it's guys hopping off the freeways. usually on the longer relays to either a midway point or just taking a break, hopping off the freeways. And usually when they do it in the middle of nowhere, there's a stop sign instead of a stop light. Most guys just take that turn a little bit too fast to get down to about 3 miles an hour, 4 miles an hour, and blow it. Remember, you got to come to a full zero where the cameras will pick it up. Is reading your truck's computer.
Hey, Danny, so...
No, sorry. I was just going to say that was it for Smart Drive.
Danny, what's your, before you get going, you get phone set up on the mount, you get coffee in the coffee holder.
Yeah, I got my my phone holder that goes in the cup, one of the coffee cups. And my coffee ready, water, and on the side pocket of my door just in case I need one.
So everything there. So you put it all in the same place every time, so you don't have to look for it.
Yeah, I'm used to just having it there.
Yeah, that's what I did too when I was a driver. Put everything right where I could. I didn't have to search for anything.
Right.
Put them in the same spot every time. All right, let's go to announcements. Got the safety meeting February 17th in Las Vegas, and that will be at the same place we always have it, the Hilton Garden Inn, South Strip, out in the that outer classroom building that they have by the pool. I believe the lunch will be at 11. I think we're going 10 to 2 with the lunch at 11. And Marissa's going to come up for that one. We had this happen 3 times this week. No rollers in the trailer. That is just devastating. Everything stops. We got to get rollers. We did have a big discussion about it here, trying to come up with some solutions. But basically, the last ditch effort that we have is the relay driver. When they open that door at the gate, is there rollers in the trailer? That is like the very last the opportunity we got, and 3 of them went out without rollers. So relay drivers, you got to check if there's rollers in the trailer. The heat-related illness training is in Luma. It's out a little early this year, but get in there and do it. As you can tell out in Phoenix, it's already getting up in the 80s, so it's going to be warm. I will let Tyler's been talking to everybody about the tablet software upgrade, I guess you would call it. Tyler, if you want to.
Yep. So just a reminder for everybody, as of this Monday, we're going to start transitioning from PeopleNet, your current ELD, to Instinct. Most of you have heard me say it a million times before, but I'll say it again. Especially for the out-of-state guys that don't see me as much. Once your location gets transitioned and you're on the new system, everybody's new temporary password is going to be 123456. You'll use that as your password on the first login. Your username will still be your 12 and then your username. Guys who are transfers to the account, a bunch of them have asked, your number won't be 12. It'll still be whatever you use if you're a transfer. We have a couple guys from Woodlands, so you're 06. The Colorado guys are 11. Whatever it is, you just got to, whatever your current number is, that's the one you use for your username. Password is 123456. And we also sent out training this week. All of you should have been emailed training. I'll give you a little breakdown of any differences in the tablets, but for the most part, it's all exactly the same. It works exactly the same. You'll request your load, arrive and depart on your workflow. ELD functionality is exactly the same.
All right. So the Albuquerque, those bids had started last week. This week, the first week of the new bids. There's some issues with some routes that are too long. They're looking at fixing those things. What did you hear on the new bids? Except for there were some routes that were too long.
Some of the stores being set up where they have assigned double trailers, and it's a little bit more challenging for the driver to find where to drop to get from one store to the other and not being late.
Yeah. So if you're going with doubles, you definitely want to find out first where you need to drop. So Danny knows all that stuff, right? You,
For the most part,
Renito,
in Southern California. Yes.
Ray.
Renito, Ray, Mario, Moises. He still remembers some of the stores in LA. There's several drivers.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. If you got doubles, check with one of these guys and find out where you can drop it. So you don't want to get in a situation where you're like, uh-oh, pull a Michael Flood and try to back up and then bend everything.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me see. I think that's all I have for this week.
That's it.
Tyler?
That's it for me.
All right. Have a good week.